Alright, so this is not a review. This is just me flying around the EMAX EZ Pilot, which was intended to be a Christmas present for one of my friends, and it still is going to be, but I haven't seen him yet. So this is just me flying around trying to wrap my head around the whole concept of FPV piloting, first-person view piloting, where the view is basically stapled to your face. Like, that's why I'm wearing the goggles. I've been doing angle mode for about 5 years. I started out with the Hubsan 107Cs, but this is my first time actually flying it where I get to see what the thing is seeing without it being like a Mavic Pro. And I mean, the Mavic Pro is amazing, but it's not the same kind of shoot from the hip style of flying that these little mainly manual things are, like I'm really excited to start flying acrobatic mode because that's going to be really exciting. But my controller hasn't come in the mail yet. I ordered the Jumper T16, but it's coming from China, so it's only like just left the country recently. Yeah, so I live in Detroit and there's chickens on the block. I don't mean to just completely act like this is a normal thing to be seeing, But yeah, I tried not to mess with them too hard, but I just had to get them in a shot. And right about here is where I actually start branching out and doing a little bit more crazy stuff, sort of trying to figure out how well this thing can see the branches by direct trial and error. You got some ghost branches there, but I made it. Now this one, on the other hand, kind of got me. I cut out the time that I spent walking over to pick myself up in between crashes because I just felt like y'all didn't want to sit there and watch me do all that, you know what I mean? But yeah, and then oh yeah, that's right, and then I go for the moon a little bit, but within reason, because I can already tell the wind's pushing against me. I'm like gunning it as far forward as I possibly can right here just to stay in place, but I still wanted to get high enough to be able to see the Renaissance Center, and I did get that high. So I start coming back down, but like I said, I'm gunning it full forward, so I wind up almost hitting this tree, but yeah, like I realized that I couldn't see what was below me, and I started trying to be careful of that tree, but I still almost landed in it. At least I knew what to look for. Then I start trying to do a range test, basically, just see how far the camera can go. And, I maybe got a little bit nervous, sort of backed out, took a deep breath, and figured out what would and wouldn't crash it, and decided to go in a little bit more carefully, a little more controlled and low to the ground, so that if it dropped out of the sky, like I said, this isn't mine, I'm going to be giving it to a friend of mine. I'm testing it, I'm just giving it a little test run, Why give it to him if it's just going to if it's going to break from that one little crash into a tree I did earlier? Like I said, I cut out the parts where I walk over, so for reference, I'm standing right there. And I go to do an orbit around myself, but I sort of mess up, got a little scared from the noise in my ear, and fell. Now at this point, I can really start to feel the battery sagging, so I just sort of start walking it back home, like I just sort of walk it over there, and I set it down over there and I walk over a bit. But anyway, yeah, so this has just been the EZ Pilot. Pretty soon I'm going to have the TinyHawk S up and running. I already have the Fat Shark goggles, have the controller in the mail. I actually have the drone itself. I guess you'll be seeing me later. Peace. Have a great one, everybody.